Hey guys, this is the 1500th video. Amazing that we've got here, and believe it or not, I have a lot of videos stockpiled here from the recent big time show at Lake Mirror in Lakeland. I have about 30 videos from them, so I really have just begun with that stuff. So I've got a lot of material. Plus I have the videos coming up, I'm sure, from Daytona Speedway over Thanksgiving. That should be a bunch of them too. So I'm well fixed with videos. I want to send out my concern to all you that will be affected by Hurricane Sandy. We got off very easy here in Florida, especially the middle part of Florida. Along the coastline they had some power lines down, tree limbs down, but in the northeast and along the coastline, I can only imagine what it's going to be like for you, and I can't even imagine how bad it will be. And people living in the coastal areas like Jesse and Mike, the rain will be terrible, and certainly as it turns in towards the northeast, it's going to be bad. So I wish you the best. All I can say is pay attention to the warnings, and don't be fooled by the relative low speed winds compared to the 120 mile an hour winds. Even if it's less, if it's a rain event like they're forecasting, there's going to be a lot of flooding, and when there's flooding there are going to be power outages and lines down, so on. So just be as safe as you can be, and I wish you the best. And that leads me to talk about another in a way kind of an unfortunate car for us. Was a 54 Studebaker, which was our second car. We had a brief flirtation with a 53 Ford four-door sedan that the local mechanic had done a ring job on, and the car itself appeared to be in pretty good shape. No obvious rust. It was a very light blue, that famous Ford light blue color, four-door sedan. But when we took it for a drive, it heated up quite a bit, and the mechanic said, well, that's just because it's too tight, the rings are just seating now, so it'll be okay. Well, we didn't trust it, so wound up, instead of that car, wound up with the 54 Studebaker Champion. It was a two-door sedan, and believe me, it was a stripped vehicle. It was a very light green color, but not the same color as other light green cars. The Chevy, for example, when it came time to do minor touch-ups with the paint, well, this Studebaker color had a little more gray in it than the Chevy green, so that didn't match. And the car itself was very Spartan interior. It had, of course, rubber mats in the front and the back, no carpeting, no radio, except they put in an aftermarket tube type radio. That's all we had at the time, the underside of the dash. And it had manual transmission, of course. It had the flathead 6-cylinder engine, and as far as driving it goes, it drove okay. Not an awful lot of power, you wouldn't expect it. The heater, the odd part about the heater was that the grill that distributed the heat was under the front seat, under the passenger side of the front seat. So there'd be air blowing over that heater, and that's what warmed the car. Wasn't very efficient, at least I didn't feel it was. and but that was what you got with the Studebaker. Now there may have been a more deluxe heater with the more deluxe Studebakers, but I didn't know about it. One thing about the Studebaker is that with the manual transmission, the way you started it was turned on the key and you put the clutch all the way down. There was a button under the clutch, and that actuated the starter. So in a way that was good, because you couldn't start the car without putting the clutch in. While we're talking about shifting gears, one of the things that wore out in this car, and we had it for 4 years, was the collar that the shift, the actual, went around the steering column, and the shift lever emanated from that collar, and there was a little pin that went in there securing that shift lever. Well, it turns out that over a period of time that hole got bigger from wear, and the pin dropped through, and well, no replacement available. So I think the guy who sold it to us found another collar from another Studebaker and put that on, so that's how we were able to get around. In the meantime, I think we had like second gear in reverse. That was it. So until they fixed that collar and you could actually shift gears properly. Another thing about the car was it's very light in weight, and in the winter driving you had to put stuff in the trunk to weight that down a little bit. It was gave you a very eerie feeling when you went over icy roads, that the back end suddenly would come around and you'd go out of control. So that wasn't too comforting. And the other thing that I found with the Studebaker was that it had, I guess you would call it beading, that went down along the rear quarter panel that attached the rear fender in essence to the rest of the car. It was like a welting, but that welting was a good hiding place for moisture, and over a period of time rust would start in that welting. So that was a mess. And the car was okay. It was certainly a step up from the Henry J. We had it from, it was a 1954 model. We got it in 56, and we kept it until 1961. Nope, I take that back, 1960. That's when we got our next car. I have to tell you this, before we got the trial with the 53 Ford and the 54 Studebaker, I almost convinced my dad to get a 56 Chevy. It would have been a 4-door 210 with manual transmission, maybe power glide. Almost had him convinced, and then he backed away from it. So that was didn't have much influence with that. It would have been a new car. It would have been a good choice, but we wound up with a Studebaker. As I said, it wasn't a disaster. It had some advantages in the styling. Was kind of cool, but yet it was kind of styled like the Starliner and the Hawk, but it certainly was no Hawk and it was no Starliner. It had the same sloping hood, but the rest of the car kind of looked a little bit awkward. And one other element of the Studebaker was the front seat. I'll tell you, I have driven a lot of cars, I've sat in a lot of cars, I've been in a lot of cars for a lot of miles, but that bench seat in that car would give me a backache with any extended trip at all. I've never had the similar situation any other car that I ever had, but that car was guaranteed to give me a backache. So that was another reason why we're kind of glad that we were able to dispose of the 54 Studebaker. Now, since we didn't get that 56 Chevy, I almost convinced my dad to trade this 56 or 54 Studebaker in on a Rambler American and new car. Almost, but no, he wouldn't do it. So next in line was a 58 Rambler cross-country station wagon, and I will tell you about that another time. So I hope you all stay safe, and I hope that you escape any serious consequences with this storm. I know what these storms are like, but this one is a big one, so just don't take anything for granted. So I'll see you around, and I will be continuing with my videos. Thanks a lot for your comments and for your viewership. I appreciate it.